Hi students, welcome back to Wisdom Academy YouTube channel. In the previous video, you have learnt about Oersted's experiment. You have learnt about magnetic field due to a current carrying conductor. Both the cases I have told you, when the current carrying conductor is a straight conductor and when it is a circular conductor. So if you remember what I talked about magnetic field due to a circular current carrying loop, you would have understood that if there is a circular loop like this and it is taking a current, then the magnetic field produced was like this. Some concentric circles here, some concentric circles here, and in center it was some kind of straight line. If I have a look at this from the top view, I think it will look like this. This is the top view. Then I can say that here you had some kind of circle, here you had some kind of circle, and here you had some kind of parallel lines. Now this is very comparable with a magnetic field produced by a bar magnet. You remember I told in the previous session about magnetic field produced by a bar magnet and how the shape of the field lines will be start from north and terminate in south, start from north, terminate in south, start from north, terminate in south, like this, and it is parallel here like this, and inside it is going from south to north. So can you see these two things are very comparable? So this if you see this was anti-clockwise, this was clockwise. It's very comparable to this. Don't you think these two are comparable? So with one circular coil, we can produce the magnetic field which is very similar to a very small bar magnet. Because see, this bar magnet, I have a sufficient area of parallel lines of force, and then we have these curves. Here if you see, only for some region I got the parallel thing. This I have drawn for you, but only for little region we are getting the parallel thing. So what I will do, I will increase the number of coils. So one coil was there, I will make one more, I will make one more, I will make one more, I will make one more. So what will happen, when I do this, all the magnetic lines of force will overlap to each other and I will get the magnetic field something like this. Don't you think I got very similar to the bar magnet now? This arrangement of circular coils in a cylindrical form is known as solenoid. So what is a solenoid? Solenoid is copper wires which are turned in such a way that it forms a cylindrical shape. So even the meaning, solenoid is a German word, it means solen, this means cylindrical, and oid means pipe. So solenoid actually means cylindrical pipe. So when you take some wire and turn it in such a way that it becomes a cylindrical pipe, it is known as solenoid. So if they ask you what is solenoid, define solenoid, you can write that insulated copper wires turned into a shape of cylindrical pipe is known as solenoid. It carries current inside it. So when the current flows through it, it starts behaving like a magnet. So solenoid, when the current starts flowing through it, it behaves like a magnet. Now let me talk to you, what are the uses of solenoid? Solenoid is much used if we want to magnetize some materials. So usually if you want to make permanent magnets, what we will do, we will keep one hard iron inside. Now what is this hard iron? It is a type of iron which gets magnetized. After getting magnetized, it will not get demagnetized so easily. There is one more thing called as soft iron. Soft iron is iron where the magnetization and demagnetization both will happen very soon. So if you keep the soft iron inside the solenoid, it will get magnetized very easily, and the moment you stop the current flowing through it, as the magnetic field stops, that material also will demagnetize very easily. So we have also used soft iron, but hard iron is used to make the permanent magnets. So one use of solenoid is to make the permanent magnets by help of hard iron. There are some more uses. For example, what is the advantage of solenoid? We have a control over magnetic field. In the case of permanent magnet, we cannot control the magnetic field. What magnetic field it has, we cannot change it. So the most advantageous advantageous thing about the solenoid is that here the magnetic field can be controlled, and whenever we need a higher magnetic field, we will use it, we will put some more current, more magnetic field will come. Whenever you need lesser magnetic field, flow less current through it, and whenever you don't need magnetic field, switch off the current. When no current flows, it does not have any magnetic field. So in the areas where you want to control this kind of, now someone may think where you want to control this. I'll give an example. Suppose you have a pile of garbage, some dump yard is there. In that there are a lot of iron filings, so iron things are there. You want to separate the normal garbage with the iron filings. So you need some big magnet. We cannot get so much big permanent magnet so easily. So what we will do, we will have some circular shape plate. Inside we will have solenoids. When we pass current through it, it gets magnetized and it will attract all the iron filings, and you can take to one portion. And now suppose you want to dump it. In case if you would have used permanent magnet, you cannot remove it. You have to come and you have to pull it out. Here, switch off the current, it gets demagnetized, everything falls down. You would have seen the movie Endiran or Robo, that this scene has come there. So whenever you want to magnetize a material or demagnetize it, we go for solenoids. So one example I said you, it is used for removing the iron filings from the dump yard. It is also used in MRIs, so magnetic resonance imaging, where you want to do some in medical field application, it is used. Electromagnets are also used in MCBs, that is miniature circuit breaking, which is nowadays present instead of fuse, we are using MCBs in the home. Inside MCBs also small solenoids are present. So if I tell you what are the practical applications of solenoid, where it is used, first I told to permanent magnetize the substances, materials, then I told it is used for separating the iron filings or iron dust from the normal garbage, then I said it is used in MRI, and then it is also used in maglev trains, where you want magnetic levitation. You know what is magnetic levitation? We provide some magnetic field, and by the magnetic field the current, the train runs. So there also we need suddenly magnetic field, suddenly we don't need magnetic field. Then is permanent magnet of no use? It has also some use. See, in the areas where you want the magnetism to be there permanently. For example, if you need an application where you want always the magnetic field to be there, if you use solenoid, then you will lose a lot of current. So current bill will be too much high. There, instead of using solenoid, I can use a permanent magnet itself. So where I want the current to be magnetic field to be controlled and to be less, sometimes on, sometimes off, we go for solenoids. Otherwise, obviously permanent magnets are only profitable. So now you came to know what is a solenoid. It is the insulated copper wire wound around or turned around in form of a cylindrical shape, and current is passing through it. It behaves like a magnet. One more thing I will tell you, if you want to increase the strength of the magnetic field, one way I told you that we have to increase the current. If you increase the current, the strength will be increased. Someone is asking that I don't want to increase the strength without giving the current. Is there any way I can increase the strength of the magnet? Yes, there is a way. Suppose there is a solenoid here. So solenoid is there. So some current is passing through it. Then what will happen? It starts behaving like a magnet, and some magnetic field lines will come through it. Like this, you have the magnetic lines of forces. Suppose I want to increase the magnetic lines of forces or increase the magnetic field. What you can do, you can keep inside a soft iron core. So the moment you keep inside a soft iron core, what happens? I said you just now, soft iron core is a material which will magnetize easily inside a solenoid. So when you keep a soft iron core, it gets magnetized. So in addition to the magnetic field given by solenoid, this will also start giving some magnetic field. So our magnetic field strength will increase. And again, when you switch off the current, then this will get demagnetized. This iron, you can take it out. So one way of increasing the magnetic field without changing the current is to put a soft iron inside the solenoid. One more thing I want to tell you, very important thing. Someone can ask, sir, if you are telling this is a magnet, then which end behaves like a south pole, which end behaves like a north pole? So remember that wherever the negative terminal is attached, that negative terminal will make north pole and the positive terminal will make south pole. So suppose I reverse the polarity, then this will become north, that will become south, the direction of magnetic lines of force also change. What important thing you have to keep in mind about solenoid is also that the magnetic field inside the solenoid is same at all the points. And since it is parallel line, at all the points magnetic field is always same. So one important thing, sometimes they ask this question is asked in school examination, they are asking that magnetic field inside a solenoid is what? Is uniform throughout. Next topic is force on a current carrying conductor in a magnetic field. So now you have understood that whenever a conductor is carrying current, it will produce a magnetic field around it. What happens if a current carrying conductor is placed in a magnetic field? There is already a magnetic field and one more magnetic field will be created by this current carrying conductor. These two magnetic fields will interact and there will be some force acting on this conductor. It will start moving. For proving this, there was an experiment done, and what it was found that when there was a conductor, this is a conductor in which the current is passing, and there is a horseshoe magnet which is creating some magnetic field. So the magnetic field is from north south this direction, magnetic field is there, and the current is going in this direction from this side to this side. So there was it was observed that this particular conductor started to move on this side. Like this, it started moving. It started coming in the outside direction. Then in the experiment, the direction of the magnet, direction of the cell was interchanged, the polarity was changed, and the magnetic, the current was flowing in this direction. Then the conductor was moving inside. So what it was found? It was found that whenever there is a current carrying conductor kept in a magnetic field, it experiences some force. It's a very important phenomena. Please make a note of that whenever a current carrying conductor is kept in a magnetic field, it experiences a force. Now you can ask me, sir, how can we remember what is the direction of the force? So direction of the force was given by one of the very famous scientist, Fleming, and it was called as Fleming's left hand rule. So Fleming's left hand rule, it said that stretch your thumb, forefinger and middle finger mutually perpendicular to each other. I will repeat once again. Stretch your forefinger, middle finger and thumb of left hand mutually perpendicular to each other in such a way that the forefinger is giving the direction of magnetic field, middle finger is giving the direction of current, then automatically the thumb will give the direction of force on the conductor. So suppose I stretch my middle finger, forefinger and thumb mutually perpendicular to each other in such a way that the forefinger is giving the direction of magnetic field, middle finger is giving the direction of current, then automatically thumb will give the direction of force, that is which direction the conductor will move. Let us apply that law here. So when the current was going in this direction, so I will put current by this finger, current is in this direction and magnetic field is from top to bottom like this. So which direction the force will be acting? In the outward direction, that's why it was going outward. Same way, when the current was in this direction and the magnetic field was down, you see the current is in this direction, magnetic field is down, so it will go inwards. So whenever you want to find a direction of force, you can use the help, you can take the help of your left hand, stretch these fingers, and suppose in the examination they are asking state Fleming's left hand rule, and someone is writing left hand rule states that three fingers are stretched 90 degree, thumb will give force, first finger will give magnetic field, middle finger will give current direction. It is wrong. There is a way of writing the Fleming's left hand rule. The way of writing is when the thumb, forefinger and middle finger are mutually perpendicular to each other in such a way that the forefinger gives the direction of magnetic field, middle finger gives the direction of electric current, then the thumb will give the direction of force. This is the way you should write Fleming's left hand rule, and by using Fleming's left hand rule you can determine what is the direction of force acting on a conductor. This topic that or this principle is very important for the next thing what you are going to study, that would be electric motor. that I will tell in the next video, but I'll just wind up today's video by saying that this becomes the principle of electric motor. So electric motor, today I am just telling the principle to you. I will tell about the working, construction and all the principles in the next class also. But remember that principle of electric motor is whenever a current carrying conductor is kept in a magnetic field, it experiences some force. So motors you are seeing in everyday life. In fan you will have a motor, in grinder you will have a motor, in washing machine you will have a motor, and most of you would have played in your childhood by small motors of the car. That motor works on the principle of force on a current carrying conductor. So that I will see in the next class. In today's lecture, you have learnt about solenoid, you have learnt about how the magnetic field is produced by a solenoid, you have learnt what are the applications of a solenoid, you have learnt about how to magnetize a hard iron, and then I also talked about how to increase the strength of the solenoid. Then I told you about force on a current carrying conductor kept in a magnetic field. With this I am stopping my today's video. In the next video I will talk about electric motor. Please like the video, subscribe the channel and share with your friends. Thank you.